So CTFT is equal to FT. So now we should know the formulas related to Fourier transform, that is CTFT. So you can just write these formulas. These formulas we need it for solving the problems. So a non-periodic, we know that transform is applicable only for the non-periodic signal. So a non-periodic continuous time signal x of t can be expressed as, so I can express x of t as 1 by 2 pi integral minus infinity to plus infinity capital X of j omega into e power j omega t d omega. Write this formula in your notebook. This equation is called a synthesis equation. Synthesis. Okay. Now I want you to just check the DTFT formula. Tell me what and all difference is there between the two formulas. X of t. We have X of t for DTFT also. So can anybody tell me what is the changes in the formula? If you tell, I will just write here.
Omega.
Omega. Is it just x of j omega, or do we have e power j omega like that? Just check it.
E power j omega.
Okay, so that is the change. Okay, so I'm just comparing it here. Don't get confused. Okay. See, omega, as you said, it is exactly correct. I told in the earlier class itself, this W type omega is for analog. Why it is analog? Because my signal is an analog signal. X of t is my analog signal. So I'm using omega, this omega, for representing analog frequency. Okay. And earlier we have discussed discrete time signals frequency. So we use Ohm's type omega. This Ohm's type omega is for the digital signal. Okay. So that difference is obviously there. But other than that difference, what I'm trying to tell is we do not have e power here. We will directly write x of j omega. But always transform means it should be capital X. Wherever topic you see, you have to differentiate your original signal and the transformed signal with the help of the letters, capital letters. So then in the earlier DTFT formula, I think you had e power j ohms omega t d omega. You just see whether it is right. I'm just writing it on the top. Is it exactly right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So now, if you remember one formula, okay, for the other topic, you can write the formula by your own. You don't need to memorize all the formulas. You just need to know the differences. That's it. So in place of e power j omega, here we are writing just j omega. This omega is W type omega. Okay, that's it. So this is your first formula. This equation is called a synthesis equation. Next, I want the Fourier transform. See, Fourier transform is this actually. X of j omega is a Fourier transform. How I will get the Fourier transform? With the help of the continuous time signal x of t. So it is integral minus infinity to plus infinity x of t e power minus j omega t dt. So this is your Fourier transform. Fourier transform or CTFT, both are same. Fourier transform are just CTFT. Anything is same. So this equation is called as analysis equation. So we can get the input signal back with the help of synthesis equation. So that means my first equation is inverse Fourier transform. My second equation is Fourier transform equation. So any doubts in this? What is inverse equation and what is original equation? Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. And can you people refer your DTFT notes and tell me what was the formula for capital X of e power j omega there? It is summation. Am I right?
Summation n is equal to plus infinity to x of n minus omega.
X of t e power minus j omega n. Okay. So you know very well, always discrete time signals, we will add the samples. That's why here it is a summation. But for the continuous time signal, since the envelope is continuous, you know what is the meaning of envelope? See, I'm just showing the cos signal or sine signal. Since the envelope is continuous, always you will be having an integration here instead of summation. So all these things are basic things. So now, in short form, how I can relate my continuous time signal with the transformed signal. So in short form, you know how to do it. X of t's Fourier transform is capital X of j omega. You know why it is double-sided arrow mark? Because if I move in the other direction, inverse Fourier transform, if I take, I will get back my X of t. So the forward direction is for Fourier transform, the reverse direction is for inverse Fourier transform. See why we are doing all these conversions? Because analyzing the signal in time domain is not giving us a clear picture and it is difficult. So I can perform the analysis in a better way in frequency domain. So because of that reason, I am always preferring the signal to be converted into frequency domain. Okay. So now we have some things, some concepts related to this. See, when the signal is converted into frequency domain, that signal we cannot call it as a signal, that we will call it as a spectrum. You know very well. Okay. So x of j omega is in frequency domain, so we will call it as a spectrum. This is the spectrum of what? The original signal x of t. So after you take the Fourier transform of x of t, also the signal is non-periodic. You know, input x of t is also non-periodic and the Fourier transform of the signal is also non-periodic. So please make a note, if you attend the competitive exams, these points will be very, very helpful. And I hope you remember when we discussed CTFS, Fourier series stands for the periodic signal, right? So input was x of t was periodic. And can anybody remember and tell me, if you take the Fourier series for this periodic signal, will that Fourier series is periodic or it is aperiodic? I have told that time when I was teaching this topic. Anybody remembers?
Aperiodic, ma'am.
Very good, aperiodic. Okay. So that difference you must know. Okay. Aperiodic. So Fourier series, though your input was periodic, after taking the series, Fourier series, your output is aperiodic. Whereas now the topic what we are discussing, both input is aperiodic as well as the output is also aperiodic. The output is nothing but the transform of the signal is also aperiodic. So both are same. So that is the main unique feature of this CTFT. Okay. So now next few more things you should know. See, the Fourier transform exists. Fourier transform of the continuous time signal exists only when the following conditions are satisfied. Following conditions means my input signal x of t should obey all the conditions, then only I can be able to perform the Fourier transform. Otherwise, this Fourier transform is invalid. So that condition we will call it as Dirichlet conditions. This is the name of the person, okay? Dirichlet, D-I-R-I. So I can say I can get x of j omega only when my input x of t obeys the following condition. So that conditions are called as Dirichlet conditions. Okay. So what are all conditions they have mentioned? See, sometimes in the exam they may ask you to write a short notes on CTFT or just FT. So all these things you have to write it. So you remember x of t should be absolutely integrable. Okay. That means integral minus infinity to plus infinity x of t, magnitude of x of t should be less than infinity. It is absolutely integrable means it should be within the bound. You know what is the meaning of bound? Okay. It should not be greater than infinity or it should not be equal to infinity. So that is the first condition to be satisfied. The next condition is your x of t has a finite number of maxima and minima within a finite interval. Finite number of maxima and minima. You know what is maxima? See, you know x of t we will represent like this. This is my x of t. Okay. This is my x of t. So I am just taking this as a finite interval. This is my finite interval. Within this finite interval, it should have finite number of maxima and finite number of minima. So this is your second point. So this condition also should be satisfied to get the transformed signal as output. And finally, you have third point. So this third point is x of t have finite number of discontinuities within any finite interval. So discontinuity should be finite. You know what is the meaning of discontinuity? The envelope may not be continuous. See here, I am showing the continuous signal. So you may have some discontinuity. That discontinuity should be very, very small, okay, within the finite interval. So then only you can perform the transform called CTFT. I think I am clear, right, up to that, the introduction of CTFT. Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So now the properties of FT. So here also we have around 10 properties which is similar to the properties of CTFS in third module. Okay. So the first property is linearity property. I'm just going to explain you only two properties. Okay. The remaining properties you can copy from this notes. So if it is not already uploaded, I will upload it today. You can just solve all these properties. So first property is linearity property. So you need to know the statement. What is statement? X of t's Fourier transform is x of j omega. Similarly, y of t's Fourier transform is y of j omega. The statement is, then I am taking the third variable called z of t. Z of t is equal to a into x of t plus b into y of t. Its Fourier transform is, so this z of t becomes z of j omega. See, if possible, this left hand side z you can make small variable. Okay, you know, uppercase and lowercase for the z, you can use the small variable just to distinguish between this capital Z. Okay, so j omega, then this a into x of t becomes a into x of j omega plus b into y of t becomes b into x y of j omega. So this is the linearity property. So we need to give the proof for this. It is very simple. But normally linearity property they do not ask in the exam. They will ask time shift, frequency shift, Percival's, modulation, convolution, like the properties will be asked predominantly in the exam. Okay. So now the first step is I should know. See, the right hand side I have x of j omega, y of j omega in the statement. So I should develop the formula for that. What is the formula? X of j omega I know very well. It is integral minus infinity plus infinity x of t e power j minus j omega t into dt. Similarly, y of j omega is equal to integral y of t e power minus j omega t dt. And similarly, I have one more term at the right hand side, so z of j omega. That also I am writing it as integral minus infinity plus infinity z of t e power minus j omega t dt. So now we will take this as a reference equation. So in this reference equation, I know what is z of t in this statement. Z of t is equal to a into x of t plus b into y of t. The same thing I am substituting it here. After substituting, I can just split the signal because I have a summation sign between. I can split the signal. So when I split the signal, can you see? So you will be getting a into x of t into e power minus j omega t dt. In that, a can be moved outside. Similarly, the next term will be b into y of t e power minus j omega t dt with the integral. So b can be moved outside. So now you just think of this integral x of t e power minus j omega t dt can be written as what? Can be written as what is its substitution?
X of j omega.
Yes, x of j omega. So a into x of j omega plus b into, similarly this integration, okay, can be replaced as y of j omega. So successfully I have proved that z of j omega is equal to a into x of j omega plus b into y of j omega. With the help of what? With the help of z of t term. Z of t was in time domain. I have used the term and I could get my frequency domain expression. So hence the linearity property is successfully proved. I am just explaining only two properties now. The remaining properties are similar to the third module properties. So we don't waste the time by explaining again the properties here again. So I will explain the time property, time shift property. So time shift property, the statement is important. The statement x of t is Fourier transform is x of j omega. Then the statement is y of t equal to time shift means I am just introducing the shift to this x of t signal, time shift. So x of t minus t naught. So that x of t minus t naught I am keeping it to the new variable y of t. That's it. So if I take the Fourier transform of this shift time shifted signal, then my output is, see, the y of t becomes y of j omega, and this x of t minus t naught, how it is converted? It is converted as x of j omega multiplied with this e power minus j omega t naught. So this is the statement. Okay. So can anybody check the third module notes? If you have, can you tell me the time shift statement, the second line? Can anybody? I just want to have a comparison here. Can you do it now? Sanjay, check ಮಾಡಿ help me.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
W of k is equal to e power minus jk omega naught t x of k.
E power minus j omega.
Omega naught t into x of k.
Very good, very good. X of k. Okay, very good, ma'am. See, I think you can know what is the difference. Okay, the difference is, see, j omega is for the Fourier transform. K is used for the Fourier series. That's it. Whereas the remaining things are exactly same. E power minus j omega t naught. Here e power minus j omega naught t. So it is our wish. Okay.
Ma'am, omega not T naught, ma'am.
Omega not t naught. Okay. Okay. This is our wish. Okay. The subscripts and all is our wish. If we write instead of omega not omega also, nothing is wrong. Nothing is wrong. I think you can understand my concept. So that's why I'm telling you, you can just understand this property from the Fourier series property itself. In place of j omega, you will be substituting k. Sorry, in place of, yeah, earlier it was k. So in place of k, here you are using j omega. That is the difference. Whereas the remaining things are exactly same. So now I want you to just see this proof. So I know from the right hand side of my statement, x of j omega is available. So x of j omega formula, I am writing it. So this is my equation 1. And again at the left hand, right hand side, I have y of j omega also. So that also I am writing it using the formula. So that is my equation 2. So I know what is y of t from the left hand side. Y of t I have kept it as x of t minus t naught. So I am just substituting x of t minus t naught into e power minus j omega t dt. So once you get more variables within the bracket, you should try to use or convert into single variable. That is the logic. Okay. So what I'm doing is the bracket term t minus t naught, I am converting it to, assuming it into a new variable, single variable. So I am assuming it to the new variable a. See, this variables and all is yours, which you can use a, b, c, d, e, f, g, h, any variable you can use. Okay. So I am just differentiating this. So dd with respect to yeah, t time itself. So I can say it is dA. So originally, if we write like this, you will understand it better. So if I write a is equal to t minus t naught, you will understand it better. T minus t naught. So I am just differentiating with respect to t. So dA by dt is equal to, so this becomes 1, this t becomes 1 minus 0. So the right hand side is completely 1. So dA is equal to dt, that's it. So I got dA is equal to dt. Similarly, so wherever t minus t naught is there, I should replace with a variable. I should not have any t minus t naught variable. So this bracket is a now. And here, in place of t should not be there now. Okay, t should not be there. T naught is a constant that can be there. So t should not be there. So if I rearrange this, I can write t as a plus t naught. So I have written a plus t naught. And I know dt is equal to dA. dt is equal to dA. And can anybody tell me why my limits I have not changed for the integration? Can anybody guess and tell me? Yes. So here I will write, now my new limits are a, right? A is equal to t minus t naught. So now tell me, my limits, will it be changed or it be same?
Same, ma'am.
Why it is same? Because it is a infinity, right? So you will substitute in place of t minus infinity minus t naught. See, this t naught is a constant which is very, very minimal. Okay, so minus infinity minus t naught is again minus infinity. So that's why you do not find any change in the limits. I hope you all can understand. So now, after this, I think you can guess what is the next work to be done. So this e power term, can we split it? So I'm just going to split it in the next line. So I'm just splitting it here. So after splitting it, I know this integration is with respect to a only. So the constant term e power minus j omega naught is moved out. Okay. So now if you see this, can we say this is nothing but capital X of j omega? Can we say like that? Capital X of j omega. Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. See, originally capital X of j omega is in terms of x of t e power minus j omega t dt. So I told in the earlier modules also, see, these three variables should be matching. T. Then it can be x of j omega. So similarly, so always t, always we no need to find for t combination. It can be a also, or it can be b also. So here also all the three variables are same. If it is same, then I can replace it x of j omega. That's it. So successfully I have proved this property. See, the same method we have followed for CTFS in third module. Okay, for time shift properties proof. So I want you to just complete the remaining properties by your own from this notes. So you can understand and prove these properties in your notebook. Okay. So you have the properties up to, see, 8th properties convolution, and I have up to 9th is modulation, and finally possibles. So you have 10 properties. In 10 properties, already I have given, I have explained 2 properties. So remaining 8 properties, you can understand by your own and you can complete the notes. Is it okay?